In the end, the Brawn Tube workshop closes up for the day without a single customer dropping by. All right, boss man. Catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, be careful on the way home, eh?
I consider dropping by Rodicon to see Beta, but an unexpected person calls out to me.
Amane-san, are you headed home?
Bam! Oh, sorry. I just happened to accidentally punch you and also actually accidentally happened to take a moment to slip on my brass knuckles first. My bad. Easy mistake. Could have happened to anyone. Maki-sei Kurisu. I instinctively glare at her. In the future, she's the woman who builds a time machine for CERN. Put simply, she's the time machine mother who triggers our dystopia. Can't even count how many times me and my friends in the Resistance spoke about her. If only she'd have never built that time machine. That's what they say in the future.
Again? Seriously? I just wanted to congratulate you. Jeez.
For what?
Your time machine's getting fixed, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I heard you found your dad, too.
Yeah. The mention of that is enough to calm my nerves. If she did that on purpose, then that'd make her quite the manipulator.
Congratulations. Although, quite frankly, it's kind of hard to say that with a straight face, considering he's, well, Hashida.
What is with the Daru disrespect in this route? I feel like this route has an anti-Daru agenda, and I am not here for it. Well, thanks, I guess.
Here, this isn't much, but...
Maki-sei Kurisu takes a small cake from out of the convenience store bag she's holding. It's a single serving of strawberry shortcake. You're giving this to me?
I hope you like it.
As long as you didn't bake it yourself.
It's me. I heard about your father from Daru. I'm glad to hear it all worked out. How about spending some time with your old man tonight? Just the two of you.
Thank you. Thanks. I never thought he'd be Hashida Itaru, though. I'm sure if I actually gave myself time to think about it, I might have realized this was always a possibility. It's just... in my memories, he's a lot thinner. Lol, 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 lol. Rude. Yeah, but you're right, but it's still a little embarrassing. Spend some time with him? Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Man, I will not stand for all this Daru hate in my Steins Gate spin-off game. That's illegal. It's not allowed. Her apple pie from the other day was so bad that it actively made me angry. Your cooking is so bad, I'm going to get angry about it to your face personally. I remember asking her if she was trying to kill us.
I figured you'd say something like that, hence the store-bought cake.
Maki-sei Kurisu sucks a little. Nope, I stand by what I said. Maki-sei Kurisu sulks a little, but she doesn't seem angry. This is all kind of weird. Why are you congratulating me?
Well, you were searching for your dad and you found him. That's it, end of story.
But I've only ever shown you hostility.
True enough, but you know, my dad and I aren't exactly on great terms.
So
hearing that you were able to meet yours made me a little happy.
Maki-sei Kurisu's dad.
So I guess I'm not technically congratulating you, I'm just sharing in the happiness. I'd be pleased as punch if maybe this helped soften your attitude toward me even just a little bit.
In that case, I'll gladly accept your peace offering. Not sliding on my brass knuckles. You can't see it. It's not happening. I take the cake from her hands. At this point, I'm no longer glaring at her. In fact, I'm smiling. Hope you're able to make up with your dad, too.
Thanks.
But now I find myself wondering why she's still holding the convenience store bag. I don't think she went to just buy me a cake. You staying overnight at the lab?
I want to get the device I'm working on to a certain point before I head home.
Then can I stay over too? I promise I won't get in the way. Makise Kurisu makes a strange face in response to my request. I don't blame her. Even I think it's kind of weird.
Sure, I don't mind.
But Makise Kurisu doesn't say no. I can't put my finger on why, but maybe it has something to do with Dad. That night, Makise Kurisu tells me all about her ambivalence toward time machines. Apparently, when she first came to the lab, she was hostile to the very idea of them. But here she is now, trying to create humanity's first time machine.
My father, well, he was researching time travel. And because of that, he got expelled from academic circles.
Makise Kurisu continues her skillful work, all the while speaking aloud. Guess time machines are still just fictional things in this era, huh?
Proper academics don't talk about time machines at conferences, you know?
So you're saying your dad wasn't a proper academic?
He was when I was still little.
Makise Kurisu's hands stop in place, and I immediately feel as though I said something that I shouldn't have.
But it's my fault that he's the way he is now.
How so?
I always adored my father's academic stories. Naturally, I didn't get all of it at the time, so that's why I started studying. I wanted him to tell me more. I figured that if I understood his stories better, he'd be able to talk to me more. Instead, it turned out to be the opposite. Not only could I understand his stories better, I could also pick out the flaws in them. I'd try to correct them. I believed that's what science was. But all I ended up doing was hurting my father's pride. How can I blame him? Scholars are ultimately just human beings. Having your mistakes pointed out by an elementary school child would be humiliating to plenty of people. But I didn't realize that was the case at the time, so I just kept doing it. Eventually, my father stopped doing proper research in fields with a lot of competition. He fled to research that couldn't be refuted by anyone.
And that's why you started looking into time machines?
That's part of the reason why I refused to do research on them myself. I thought that it would be impossible for me. Not because of the time machines themselves either. I was just trying to escape from my sense of guilt.
You sound a lot like your dad. Upon hearing my words, Makise Kurisu glares at me, a surprised look on her face. I said something I shouldn't have again.
Like him? How?
Well, I never met him, but it sounds like you're both serious about your work and also really naive. Is that a negative word? It doesn't mean you're neurotic or anything, just sensitive, I guess?
Maybe.
And regardless of the reason, you're both interested in time machines. I bet you both find the idea of leaping across time to be, adventurous.
A scientist caring about adventure, huh?
Or, other adventures like maybe creating digital backups of your memory or whatever, and installing them in AI personality. Is that... No? Just taking a shot in the dark there. I personally think scientists are very adventurous. They seek the truth that nobody's discovered yet. What's that if not adventure? My dad in the future. The dad who entrusted the time machine to me. He was an adventurer too. That's what I believe.
You're right.
Makise Kurisu appears to have calmed down a bit. The evidence being that she's resumed her work. Once again, I'm struck by how similar to her dad she seems. Always trying to be correct hurts the people around you. It might not be a good thing, but I think it's probably an unavoidable part of who she is. Still, I'm surprised your dad's researching time machines.
Got a problem with that?
Nope, just the opposite. I feel kind of a kinship with you. I'm not lying. Father's so immersed in time machine research that he just distanced himself from his daughter. That's the story of my life, too.
Kinship, huh?
All aboard the SS Kinship. Woo! Yup, kinship. We both lead lives held prisoner by time machines. Our fathers are the source of that. The two of us might be more similar than I thought. The highest praise I can give to someone who, up until now, I'd viewed as a sworn enemy. But Makise Kurisu's expression is anything but happy.
Just to make sure, you aren't saying that because I'm your mom or something, right? Just thinking about the possibility gives me chills.
That's definitely not what I expected her to say. No, you're not my mom. Her surname is Amane.
Oh, thank goodness.
I don't think I've ever seen Makise Kurisu look so relieved. She that happy that she's not my mom? Jeez, that seems kind of rude. Speaking of moms, it's so rude that some of my hostility towards Makise Kurisu bubbles to the surface again. In the future where I'm from, you're referred to as the Time Machine Mother.
Me? I guess that's appropriate. When I finish this device, it'll be the world's first time machine.
If only that was the only reason. The time machine tech that you and the others create eventually gets monopolized by CERN. As a result, the world becomes a dystopia with no conflict. In my future, every facet of human life is strictly controlled and monitored. Every conflict is prevented before it happens by using the time machine. And you're the one that built it, Makise Kurisu.
I get it now. That's why you, the warrior, seeking to bring peace back into the world, see me as your greatest enemy.
You're unexpectedly calm about this.
I was always curious as to why you hated me so much. But if the reason is something that happens in the future, I guess there's not much I can do about it now. For you, it's the past, but for me, it's something I haven't even done yet, right? But I can certainly see how things end up that way. Here I am, building a time machine. Once it's complete, I'll be qualified to be called the Time Machine Mother. I don't know much about CERN, but I do know that they conduct human experiments. If they know we completed our machine first, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they came here to take it by force tomorrow.
What was that last part?
And if they did, you'd become a pawn of CERN. Oh.
And if they did, you become a pawn of CERN just to continue their research?
That's the part I just don't get.
Makise Kurisu stops working and turns to me. But she isn't glaring this time. In fact, she's smiling.
Even under threat of death, I would never ever cooperate with CERN. But considering what you've seen in the future, it seems like I built the time machine that CERN uses to control the world. I cooperated with them. What caused this contradiction?
I've never actually thought about it before. I only ever knew Makise Kurisu's personal history. I never spoken to her in the future. I tried to assassinate her and failed. That's it.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Oh, that's rad. Sorry, Kurisu, I love you, but holy shit, that's rad.
She gets to 2010, sees Kurisu across the way, and just like takes the shot and misses, and no one comments on it until now. And it's just like, wow, now I feel kind of guilty about this, but it's a bit too late. And like, she didn't even notice, and
if only I had more than one time bullet. But speaking of Makise Kurisu here in the now, she just doesn't seem like the kind of person who would ever go along with CERN, even if it meant being killed. So why did she? What happened?
Hashida joined the Resistance and built your time machine, right? What about Okabe?
Okabe Rintaro was one of the founding members of the Resistance.
So you're telling me I become the enemy of the Future Gadget Laboratory?
That's right.
If Okabe and Hashida are in the Resistance, is Mayuri too?
I'd never heard anything about Mayuri Shina. She wasn't in the Resistance, and she wasn't a CERN collaborator. How could she be? She's going to die in a few days. The hands of the Rounder sent by CERN, no less. But that's something I only learned after coming to this era.
I'm even more confused now. Why would I cooperate with CERN? What would drive me to go against Okabe and Hashida? Why did things turn out like that?
Makise Kurisu can't seem to wrap her mind around future events, but I feel like I'm starting to see how all the pieces eventually come together. Makise Kurisu wanted to save Shina Mayuri, no matter what it took. But the world line convergence would never allow such a thing. The time leap machine cannot save Shina Mayuri. There's only one way to save her. The entire world must be changed. Not in the current world line, either. By crossing the attractor field and moving to a world line that contains other possibilities. But in order to do that, a time machine and the IBN 5100 are both necessary to make it happen. This process requires a time machine that can go back years, not just several days. Makise Kurisu wanted to save Shina Mayuri no matter what. No matter the cost. That's why she chose to become the enemy of the entire world. Makise Kurisu chose Shina Mayuri over her own beliefs. For everyone and everything. That's right. Everything she did to save a single person. Shina Mayuri. Even if it meant having to live apart from her closest friends and allies, she tried to save that one young girl alone. entirely possible that Makise Kurisu, Okabe Rintaro, and my dad, they were all aiming for the same thing. So, that's how it is.
What? Did you figure it out?
Yeah, but I can't tell you now. Not because it's about the future, it's because Okabe Rintaro hasn't told her yet. He should be the one to tell her about Shina Mayuri's death.
I'm dying of curiosity, but since it's about the future, I guess I should be patient.
Mm-hmm. Makise Kurisu backs down without argument. I suppose if you look at it another way, that's probably because she's convinced that she'd never give in to CERN's threats. You're pretty amazing, Makise Kurisu.
Well, that came out of nowhere.
I'd never been able to do what you did. I'm sorry for assuming you were some evil villain, for always glaring at you. Would I have the determination, the willpower to go that far? I got to where I am now because I believed I'd be changing the world for the better. I traveled to the past thinking that it was for the sake of my world, but Makise Kurisu was different. For the sake of one girl, for Shina Mayuri, she became the enemy of the world and the future itself, which directly led to my hatred toward her. I even tried to assassinate her.
Well, I can't say I enjoyed the open hostility, but you don't need to apologize.
But I want to.
Then be my guest. Oh, and I don't know what sort of conclusion you came to, but it's possible that maybe you're overestimating me.
I can't deny that, but
Like Okabe's always saying, I might just be a woman who can't stop experimenting.
well, sure. But even I can tell that Makise Kurisu is the kind of person who would deeply regret her actions if they ever led to the death of someone she cared about.
I might have joined CERN just because I wanted to build a time machine. We can talk about beliefs and morals all day long, but the reality is that research costs money. It requires capable subordinates. Though I gotta say, the time machine mother? What kind of Chunibyo name is that? Did Okabe come up with it?
She's also good-humored enough to laugh at herself. I think that's about enough of this dark topic. Instead, I listened to her with a smile. That's right. But I still think that this is the right way of looking at it. You're a good person, Makise Kurisu. Seemingly embarrassed, she averts her eyes. After finally getting to know her, I can't help but think that it's a fitting reaction.
First, you think I'm the ultimate evil, now I'm a good person.
Not a fan?
I guess I'll take that over being glared at all the time.
Rad. The two of us continue to chat the night away until we fall asleep. If you'd asked me if I'd ever thought this could happen prior to my coming to this era, I would have called you crazy. A casual chat with Makise Kurisu of all people. Do people like the new chipper Suzuha voice? I think it gives her some personality. I'm actually not like, I feel like a lot of my voices, real quick, sidebar, I feel like a lot of my voices come across as, obnoxious, but they're not, intended to be. It's just, how can I make voices sound distinct?
It's hard.
It is. Because people are, my voice has a limited range, right? And you're listening to this, so it's how can I make it clear what character's speaking without you having to look at the screen all the time?
I just make everybody camp.
Well, yeah, in a world where everyone is camp, no one is. When I wake up in the morning, I have a message waiting for me from Hashida Itaru. Actually, it's from Beta. Apparently, the repairs are going well and should be finished sometime this morning. After I part with Makise Kurisu at the lab, I head to Radicon. Someone should really pick up all these chairs. Or, some of them are gotta be salvageable, right? Right? I mean, someone paid for these. Yo-ho! Sorry, but keep it down. I get scolded right off the bat. I didn't think I was being all that loud, but then I get to hit the hint once I look where Beta is pointing. Dad's still asleep. There are papers scattered all around him. Given that there's writing all over them, they're neither trash or some sort of makeshift blanket. Not exactly cold out either. Dad went to sleep around dawn. I see, so he was doing repairs the whole time? Well, not quite. Huh? The repairs themselves didn't take too long, but Dad wanted to know all sorts of things about the time machine. So I answered all of his questions. This is, okay, the Beta Sousa. So I answered all of his questions by writing on the paper you see there. That explains the mess around him. Anyway, Alpha. What's up? The other me had something of a gloomy expression on her face. There's something I need to apologize to you about. Apologize? Did the repairs go south? No, the time machine should be fine, although it doesn't have the spare energy for an operation check, so I can't say for sure. Then why the apology? Dad figured out it's secret. Secret? To someone in this era, everything concerning the time machine should be considered a secret, but considering the look on Beta's face, I get the feeling that he figured out the one thing I wanted to keep him from finding out. That this time machine can only go back to the past. Oh. He promised he wouldn't tell the others, but... Yeah. But the one person I didn't want to find out was Dad. I guess there's no point in that now, huh? Yeah. Suppose the silver lining is that the others don't know. But that doesn't change the fact that he knows. Him, of all people. Whereas military Suzuha, she's the one from the world line Steins get started, and hers does explicitly go back and forth. Which is very important for that whole thing to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we don't have time to discuss this any further. Dad wakes up at the sound of my voice.
I'm imagining Suzuha keeps going back in different world lines, and 1975 just ends up with a pileup of Suzuhas. Just an absolute panoply of Suzuhas.
So you want to know what series did that joke?
What?
And did it pretty well?
What?
Red versus Blue.
I don't remember that.
Just like the couple dozen church pileup. I think it was church. It's been over a decade since I last saw Red versus Blue, so forgive me.
Suzuha, you're here?
Did you just call me? Dad slowly raises his giant body from the floor.
Yeah, I was talking to Ghost Ton, and she said you'd be happier if I did.
Yeah, I guess.
So that means you need to call me Papa, got it?
Papa? Oh, that's a little embarrassing. Mind if I call you Dad instead?
Sure, I'm cool with that.
Rad. Anyway, sorry for waking you up after you only just got to sleep, Dad. I heard you worked through most of the night.
Nah, Ghost Ton number 01 did most of the hard work.
That's not true. The other me said you helped out a bunch, right? That's right. Mind telling him for me? She says that's right.
For real? I'm happy to hear that, but honestly all I did was talk a whole bunch, plus I could barely understand what she was talking about.
That's not your fault. You might have built this thing, but that's way in the future.
Sure, but...
What's up?
Isn't it kind of weird? Like, where did this time machine even come from?
From the future, the year 2036.
No, that's not what I meant. Where did the technology for this time machine come from?
Huh? What do you mean? Nothing important.
You said that I completed this time machine in the future based on the phone wave tech, but isn't that only because I helped repair the time machine here in this time? That means I didn't invent a time machine in the future, I only recreated the one I saw here. But then wouldn't that imply there had to be a time machine in the future that I based this one off of first?
Oof.
So, who completed that first one? Thinking about it kept me up all night. Though I guess that's a weird thing to hear from someone who was literally just asleep.
You're right. It seems like a closed loop, doesn't it? Definitely not anyone close to you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry your fluffy little head. Just worry about finding... Look, just get a phone book and find everyone with the last name Amane, all right? Get on that. Try cold calling.
It worked in Daru's route.
The thing is, it absolutely would work on Yuki, wouldn't it? It absolutely would.
He did cold call her.
Exactly, it's so good. Oh, man.
He was fucking weird about it, but it still worked.
Yep, that checks out. Simply using a time machine shouldn't cause visible changes to the world line. In other words, Dad originally repaired the time machine at this point in 2010. By doing so, he was able to see how the machine worked, helping him complete his prototype in 2036, but considering how visibly I've been operating, not to mention the spot where the time machine is materialized, it's possible the world line has shifted. My dad and I can't perceive that shift, though.
Or maybe the contradiction exists because this is a different world line. Did I complete the time machine in a world line where no time machine ever showed up?
I have no clue. You never said anything about that to me.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You never met me in the future, right?
Yeah, you were hiding from CERN. That's why I didn't recognize him. If it weren't for my two ghosts, I never would have realized he was right there in front of me the whole time.
I'm sorry, Suzuha.
Huh?
I know it's something future me did, but it sounds like I failed you as a dad. I might have had few options in a future controlled by CERN, but no parent should ever abandon their daughter in the name of research, you know?
Don't apologize. I never resented you for how things went down, Dad. Hell, if anything, I respected you. You left us with hope, the ability to change the world. You know what's weird? Every single confirmed dad character in Steins Gate is a rad dad.
Dr. Nakabachi?
Shit. I was thinking of Braun is a rad dad and Daru is a rad dad. Nakabachi is not a rad dad.
And Ferris's dad.
Ferris's dad, yes, because he shows up and yes, Ferris's dad is also a rad dad.
And don't we meet Okabe's dad in one of the
very briefly.
In one of the wasn't it in the My Darling's Embrace?
Yeah, very, very briefly.
He seemed fine.
He seemed fine. Luca's dad, rad dad.
Yeah.
Rad dad. No notes.
So it's really everybody except for Dr. Nakabachi.
Yeah, everyone except... Have we met Mayuri's parents? I don't think we've seen Mayuri's parents.
That's a good question. There was that thing about how they were going to a different city.
Yeah, like we hear about them briefly.
Yeah.
But I guess they're fine. Probably. What about Moeka? We have no idea about Moeka's family situation.
Yeah.
Boom, there we go. Counterexample found. I am proud of that. These are my honest feelings. Not like I didn't wish I had a kind dad or anything, but I was never realistic in the world I'm from. So, don't apologize, Dad. He made the right choice. If he hadn't just distanced himself from me, he would have eventually been found by CERN, and any chance we had to change the past would have been lost forever. Dad did what should have been done. He did what had to be done. That's why I've always thought of my dad as a stronger, more rational person. A great man who threw away his own life in order to change the future.
Suzuha?
That's my name. The dad in front of me right now is different. He's overflowing with empathy. He's imagining things he did in the future and apologizing for them. The sort of kind-hearted person he is. But this is the same man who had no choice but to throw himself deep into his time machine research, leaving my mom and I behind. If anything, that's what I'm most sad about. More than my never getting to meet him. He's the one who never got to see his own daughter. I can imagine how that must have felt. I've never once resented you for what you did, Dad. There's no lie in that statement. That's why I don't want to see him look so sad.
But...
Hey, Dad, I have a favor to ask.
Huh? Favor? Sure, as long as it's within my power.
I want you to show me around Akihabara.
That's all?
Getting to walk around Akihabara with Dad, a place that he loved so much. Might not seem all that crazy to him, but it's more than I could ever ask for. I'm sure he'd be saddened to hear that. That's why I act like it's no big deal. Yeah, that's all I want.
I'd be more than happy to show you the ropes.
No, I want to see the the city, not some Oh! I get it. Dad finally smiles for me. He might have noticed me trying to hold back, but he smiles nonetheless. It's the kind of guy he is.
But after all that work, I need to grab a quick shower and a change of clothes. I smell gross, lol.
You don't have to rush or anything. Sounds like you didn't sleep much.
Well, if I'm gonna get some shut-eye, I might as well head back to the lab.
All right, we can go out after you freshen up and take a break.
Then I have a little proposal. As your dad.
What's up?
How about taking a shower with your old man?
Hold on, where are my brass knuckles still? He has a deathly serious look on his face. A shower with you?
No go?
No, I don't mind. I haven't had a shower in a while either. Been fine using the water. What the fuck is this? Hold on.
Sharp left turn.
Turn onto Horny Street, right? Our GPS just like alert, Horny Street approaching.
Maybe it's just a normal shower.
Yeah, maybe. I've been fine using the water in the park to keep clean, but I'd be lying if I said the idea of a proper shower didn't sound appealing.
Suzuha, hurry up.
You know what? I'm fine. I'll wait till after you take yours. Decided to let him go first since the lab shower isn't exactly big. Well, there's more than enough space for two girls to get in together. It's way too narrow for both me and Dad. It's going to be too difficult to wash off with the both of us in there, but Dad doesn't seem to feel that way.
Dad's naked and ready to go, though I guess the naked part is a given. This kind of reminds me of those family bathing ads you always see on Nakazuri. Can you believe they've got full nudity on them, SMH?
What's a Nakazuri?
You know, those hanging ads inside of trains.
Oh, inside of trains? This explanation does little to clear my confusion. I ride my bike everywhere, so I don't really know much about the insides of trains. I remember riding one with Mom when I was really little, but the details are hazy.
Anyway, hurry on in. You'd make your old man super happy if you washed his back for him.
Alrighty, must be a little cramped, though. Be more rude not to join him. Inton. Why is all this like this?
Yo, what are you doing?
Makise Kurisu strolls into the lab just as I'm removing my top. Gives me a strange look the moment our eyes meet. I was thinking of taking a shower with Dad.
Oh, a shower. Gotcha.
Should I have asked for permission first?
No, you're a lab mem too. No worries. Wait, did you just say with your dad? You're talking about Hashida, right?
Yep. He got really sweaty while fixing the time machine, so...
And how does that have anything to do with bathing together?
I figured I'd wash his back for him.
I get what you're thinking, but...
Yeah? Uh-huh.
Okay, look, the most important thing here is who invited who. That'll determine whether this is an actual crime or not.
What? Dad did.
Pervert confirmed. Damn it, Hashida, taking advantage of such an innocent girl.
All caps, pervert confirmed. No CG of Makise punching Daru in the face. Makise Kurisu mutters to herself as she storms toward the shower room. She seems really, really angry.
Hashida, are you seriously that brain dead? Do you realize that Amane-san doesn't have the same kind of common sense that we have? How could you possibly think it's okay to invite her into the shower with you? You goddamn pervert! Shame on you. Like hell I'll let her in there with you.
Good job, Makise.
Makise-shi, what are you doing here?
What are you so angry about, Makise Kurisu?
I'm angry because you don't know why I'm angry, Amane-san.
Oh, okay, if me not knowing is the problem, shouldn't you just be yelling at me instead?
Look, I'm angry because Hashida asked you to shower with him knowing that you wouldn't know any better.
What's wrong with showering together?
Okay, sure, kids and their parents bathe together pretty often, I get it. But that's only normal up until you graduate from elementary school, right? Common sense. How old are you right now?
I'm 18.
And at what age does a person normally graduate from elementary school?
I don't know. We don't have schools. I'm not trying to play dumb, I just have no answer. It's not part of the info I was given about 2010.
It depends on the country and culture, but it's around 12 here.
Oh, really? I'll try to remember that. Thank you.
Yes, please do. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that at the age of 18, you should not be showering with him. And while he might be your father in the future, right now he's a 19-year-old beast. Don't even think about getting in there with him.
He's a beast?
Exactly. A total perv who's totally fine with anyone, be they 2D or 3D.
What about 4D? So let me get this straight. You're saying that in this era I shouldn't shower with Dad.
Wouldn't this be off limits in the future, too? You know, men and women around your age showering together and stuff?
I'm a soldier. We don't have the luxury of differentiating between men and women.
I see.
And when I was little, I never got the chance to shout with my dad. I always wanted to try it at least once. Makise Kurisu said that this is a custom for families up until middle school. But I never graduated from, let alone went to school. I've never taken a bath with my dad, and I doubt I ever will. Dad was never around. He died in 2036. F. I'm told that is the proper way. Wait,
Plus ratio.
Okay, we're too early for that one. Because this is 2010. Yeah,
That's... Sure, I get it, but...
Makise Kurisu, I understand that I probably shouldn't get in there with him, but the writer for this section really wanted it to happen, so you know what's going to happen, right? But is it so unforgivable that I can't do it just this once?
Unforgivable? I guess not, as long as you're both consenting adults about it.
Then can you turn the other cheek just this once? Your cute little cheek?
Amane-san, I get it. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that wanting to spend time with your father is wrong.
Then...
But no!
Interrobang?
My conscience would never allow me to let that perv shower with an 18-year-old girl. Never.
No matter what?
No matter what.
All right. Time for old Brassy. All right.
Just do something else instead. I won't object to anything where Hashida can't get too carried away. I know I sound like a jerk. I'm just trying to give you advice as a friend. If there's one thing I know for certain...
With certainty?
With certainty. It's that right now, 19-year-old Hashida is a pervert. That's it.
Okay. Seeing Makise Kurisu argue so vehemently with bloodshot eyes makes me even a soldier like me wince. I was planning on having Dad show me around Akihabara after this. Do you think that'll be okay?
Zero problems. As long as you don't go any further than linking arms with him, he probably won't spiral out of control.
Okay, I got it. Linking arms is A-okay.
But no more than that. Say no, no matter what.
Okay. I know Makise Kurisu's saying this because she's worried about me, but that's why I decided to obediently follow her advice.
So, I sorta can't get out of the shower right now. What with you being there at all, Makise? I get the feeling if I tried, I'd be seeing red.
Don't worry about how the music cut out for a few seconds there. Nothing happened.
Oh, right. Although, to be perfectly honest, not just imagining what you'd do to me makes me kind of want to risk my life. Stay in the shower, you goddamn perv.
Well, that scene was important. So glad we went through that for 20 minutes. Okabe Rintaro eventually shows up at the lab. Dad starts loudly snoring on the sofa, so I decide to head out and kill some time. Wonder what I should do until he wakes up. Dad already agreed to contact me once he's up and about again. Wouldn't be right to wander Akihabara until then, but there's not much else to do either. How about we do something about that outfit of yours?
New outfit CG?
New outfit CG! After arriving at the station, Omega says something strange. What do you mean? I know he's just Dad, but it's sort of like a date, right? Wearing a jersey on a date is kind of eh. Seriously? Seriously serious. I'm super serial. But it's vintage from the 70s.
Wait, she has a vintage 70s jersey and then goes back to the 70s. Everything about her life is a fucking time loop. The bike, the time machine, the building.
Oh, man. It's so good.
Jersey.
I think the word you're looking for is old. It might be a jersey, but it's no ordinary one. I wanted Omega to understand that, but she cuts me down right away. It's more of a disguise, right? To blend in once you got back to the 70s. Not even Beta is on my side. Gah. You're quite the looker, so you should wear something cute. You're one to talk. Is that weird coming from me? I mean, God gave me this rack. I'm gonna use it. Pretty weird, yeah. How so? I think it's rather axiomatic. That word again. It's my... Suzuha pout faces. I don't know how to feel about this.
In my timeline, no one's allowed to make me learn long words.
That word had too many syllables in it. Apologize. apologize. Omega looks displeased with me. She grimaces at even slightly difficult vocabulary words. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is Dad's not going to see the difference between a good or bad jersey. You think so? She's probably right. Dad's always wearing the same sorts of clothes. He doesn't seem like the type to know much about fashion. Oh, but he doesn't like spats. Really? I overheard him talking to himself about how much he loves them. What? Then maybe I should try to put the focus on them. I don't understand what we're talking about now.
Her bike shorts.
Oh, that's what I didn't know that word. I'm sorry. You gonna read your mail or?
Complaints. Hello, Amane-san. This is Makise. Pretty sure this is our first time talking over email. Anyway, Okabe's been complaining for a while now about how Hashida doesn't deserve a daughter like you. I pretty much agree.
Howdy, Kurisu Makase. I never would have guessed in a million years that we'd end up exchanging contact info. The past me, well, I guess the future me from this time period would be shocked. I'd probably stick a knife into you. I'd probably stick a knife in my hand. Lol, 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 lol. Did I use that right? Did I use that right? I've been learning. Maybe I should try to put the focus on them. I tried raising my jersey a little, but it doesn't make much of a difference. I personally think you should just wear something cute. Keep it simple. But I don't own any clothes like that. I have no clue what's cute and what isn't. I can help you coordinate. Let's go check out some stores. I don't even know where to start looking. I was never planning on coming to 2010 in the first place. If only there were 4 style stores in this era. 4 styles. It's one of my favorite brands. It's in Shibuya, but the Air and Worldline are different here. It might not exist yet. Shibuya, huh? That's a little too far to go on a whim. And check the route map at the station. On the Yamanote Loop line, Shibuya is on the exact opposite side of Akihabara. It's in the western part of the 23 wards. Even on a bike, getting there would take somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour one way. You don't have a ton of time, so let's take the train. The train? Why not just bike it? We can't ride bikes, duh. There's no reason to force ourselves to go then. Besides, I'm not exactly thrilled at the prospect of getting cute clothes. Unless it comes with a new CG.
I'm imagining that they do ride bikes together, and it's just one Suzuha and 2 ghost bikes pedaling alongside her.
Yeah. I don't want to travel across town on unreliable information either. Why are you so lazy, Alpha? Omega calls me out. Dad likes spats, right? Then I don't see why I have to. I try objecting, but Omega interjects. Don't you want Dad to think you're cute, Alpha? She's cutting right to the chase. Being asked that sort of thing outright is a little embarrassing. That's, well, yeah, but... Then just do as I say. Come on. Okay.
I like that both of the other Suzuhas are here for important purposes. Beta, in order to fix the time machine and actually allow the plot to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And Omega to be like, get a nicer outfit.
Come on. Which means the first things first, I have to figure out how to ride the train. Hop. One turnstile hopping later, I follow Omega's orders. I rode the train as told, searched for stores as told, and bought the clothes as told. If you don't give me another CG, come on. Right around. Although you know, I shouldn't be begging for more here. We did get the wonderful CG at the very beginning. That was delightful.
Yeah.
Right around the time we finished shopping, Dad called, so we headed back to Akihabara. Oh, that's actually a really good outfit.
Hey.
Oh, that's just nice.
The hat ribbon seems somewhat inconvenient.
It doesn't, you know what though? It looks really nice. That's actually just a really good outfit. Good on you, Suzu. Good on you, Suzu.
Whoa, Suzuha. What's going on with that outfit? You're crazy, Moe.
Can you see my new CG? It's pretty rad. One of the ghosts made me do it. Do I look weird?
No. Ghost Ton's got killer taste in clothes if she had you wear this. GJ.
You're living a pretty normal life in Omega's world line, so... I'm not Omega, I'm Suzuha. Don't make things complicated.
Ooh, no wonder she knows all about my fetishes.
What? By fetishes, you mean the things that you like?
Sure. Why not?
Why is this chapter like this? We were...
Because I'm prominently featured in it.
The thing is, it's not like this in, like, other... Alright, that's fine.
By the way, Suzuha,
Yeah, that's me. What is it?
you're looking super cute today.
Oh, well, thank you. And Terabang?
Was that creepy?
No, not at all. It's just that nobody's ever said that to me before. I was surprised. That's right, nobody had ever said that to me. The time I was aware of my surroundings, Dad was long gone. I never got to hear him compliment me even once. See, aren't you glad you listened to me? Omega's completely right. Everything she said turned out to be true. Yeah, I am. Oh, but they don't do the thing where in Darling's Embrace where they let you scroll over the double high CG before moving on. Gonna have to knock you points for that one, Linear Bounded Phenogram. The time we spent together after that exchange honestly feels like a dream. I know I've had it with him before, but the Sanpo beef bowl we have together for lunch tastes even better than it did that other time. Dad, do you mind if we hold hands?
Sure, I don't mind, but actually, feel free to do whatever you want.
Makise Kurisu told me not to go any further than linking arms.
She doesn't have to know.
Good point. Why is it...
How about skipping the hands and going straight to linking arms?
Sounds good to me. And so we decided to link arms, but...
Whoa.
Dad's cell phone suddenly rings.
Oh, it's a message from Makise. She?
She's spying on him. Dad shouts in surprise after reading the email.
Curse you, Makise. She, where are you? You're watching us, aren't you?
He suddenly starts looking around frantically. What's wrong?
Christina on the roof of Radicon with a sniper rifle.
Just a red dot appears up.
She brought trank rounds just in case things went south.
Either that or friendship. Friendship.
Makise, she just emailed me saying she'd kill me if we think she won't find out.
How timely. I also immediately get a message.
You too, Amane-san, that includes you. Don't let your dad get too carried away.
Looks like she intends to kill me, too. Hold on, I need to change my background real quick. Wow, there's so many backgrounds in this game. Why?
Yeah.
I think we have to go back to Nukaria.
Karia Ice.
Nukaria Ice. Either that or Seira from Bloodtoon. Seira After Awakening, there's Fez. Oh, there's a lot of these. Even Jesus, okay, we're getting in there. That is a lot more than... Okay, that is deeper than I'm only familiar with the characters from Chaos Head just from watching the anime once, so... But still. We're gonna set ours to Lucaphone. Wait!
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Huh.
There it is. Finally. Sorry, my Lucaphone was malfunctioning.
Oh, happens to the best of us. I've been thinking this for a while now, but she's one crazy lady.
With our arms linked, I could tell that Dad's actually scared, but I personally feel more relaxed. I might even be smiling a little bit. I wonder if this is Makise Kurisu's way of getting revenge.
Huh? For what?
I once tried to kill her in the future. She becomes the enemy of humanity known as the Time Machine Mother. I apologized to her for it yesterday, but I wonder if she's the type to hold grudges. Future grudges.
Ocarine asked her something similar before, and she said she wasn't. She just has a better memory than most, is all.
Sounds like something she'd say. I chuckle, but Dad doesn't follow along. Oh, because now he knows who invented the time machine he based his off of in the future. And also knows that he wasn't working with her. He suddenly goes silent and looks down. What's wrong, Dad? Did I say something weird? Can't figure out the reason for his sudden silence.
I remembered something.
Remembered? I retrace my memories in an attempt to find the cause for his reaction. About the time machine, right? I arrive at the answer almost immediately.
Yeah?
You heard about it from Beta while repairing it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I don't have to confirm what he heard. I already know. That the time machine can only go back to the past. In other words, once I traveled in 1975, I can't ever come back.
You're leaving for the past today, aren't you?
How'd you know?
Because you wouldn't have asked me to show you around Akiba if you weren't.
I guess I can't pull one over you, Dad.
Do you really have to go, Suzuha?
Yeah. That's the only time machine the Resistance had.
That's good. Suzu-san, I heard everything. I'm so glad you found your dad. I'm even crying a little. Enjoy your date with Daru-kun.
Huh. Just, hold on. Huh. Just... Why do you do that with your phone every once in a while? Nah, you'll understand. It's the only time machine the Resistance had.
Hey, do you think you can give me a little time?
Time?
It's a time machine, so you can delay your departure and still get to 1975, right?
No can do. It's not all powerful, and the longer I'm here, the higher possibility of causing an irreparable time paradox.
But there's no guarantee that'll happen.
It's not a risk I can take. I'm sure you of all people understand that, Dad. And what do you need time for, anyway?
I'm going to perfect the time machine.
What?
I heard all about it from Ghost Town. In her world line, they have time machines that can travel to the future. Then shouldn't it be possible to modify yours?
Probably not.
But why?
In this specific world line, you can't build a time machine capable of going to the future. That's just the way the world line converges. Here, no matter what we do, CERN will complete their time machine, leading to the realization of their dystopia and monopolization of all time travel devices. The sole exception is the one you will leave behind in the future.
But if you go back, you'll never see us again. Me, Okurin, Makiseshi, Mayushi, Ferristan, Lukashi, Kiryushi.
Oh,
Ms.
yeah.
not appearing in this route.
Oh, I remember seeing her once at a meeting. She didn't say much. Dad slowly lists each name like he's recalling them one by one.
And she's a real killer lab, ma'am.
What? Oh, you mean her looks? Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I can see that. Okay. I steel my heart as best as I can. I'll see everyone soon enough, even though I know it's a lie. Once I go back, I'll never see Dad or the others ever again. I already know why. I'm going to the past, remember? Once I get there, I'll just start my new life. I'll be over the age of 50, but I'll still be around in this era. But I have to convince him otherwise. If I don't, he's only going to worry even more than he already is now. If he found out he'd never be able to see me again, he'd try to stop me.
Right.
Heck, we might have already met. It could be someone you know super well going by a different name.
Even if that is true, why would you use a different name?
I don't know. Creating a time paradox is always a possibility when it comes to meeting your past self. When I go back to the past, the me here in this era will be the only one left. I'm sure she'll probably reveal her name at that point. Or maybe since we're having this conversation here right now, the me of this era won't appear until after I'm long gone. That's the kind of person I am. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
Dad is trying his hardest to accept what I'm saying. He's doing everything he can, but even I can tell that he's never going to be fully convinced. A theory is only still just a theory. You're a nice guy, Dad.
What?
I always thought you were some more logical sort of person, someone who strictly follows scientific theory and nothing else, I guess. You were smart enough to go and build a time machine, so I figured you stuck to your guns no matter what. Which is why I always thought we weren't much alike. I'm supposed to be a soldier in the Resistance, and yet When the sniper rifle landed in my hands for a mission, I couldn't pull the trigger.
Are you talking about Maki, says she? I think you made the right choice by not shooting.
Yeah. I feel the same way now. I'm glad I didn't kill Makise Kurisu. Talking to her made me realize that she wasn't some evil supervillain. Back then, I never would have imagined that I'd come to feel that way. I failed that mission, and because of me, many of my comrades in arms died. I killed my comrades. 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 I felt that way for a long, long time. I refused to let their deaths be in vain, so I traveled to the past. I got in the time machine that Dad left behind and traveled back in order to obtain the IBN 5100. But I decided to take a detour in this era. Dad threw away everything important to him in order to build this machine, and yet I used it for my own selfish reasons. I doubt Dad would have done something so illogical. That's what I always thought. But now I know. Dad knew. He knew that I'd come to meet him. That's why he entrusted the time machine to me. Dad lived his life in hiding from CERN so that he could send me off like this. Dad knew. He knew that I'd meet him here, like this. That's why I'm sure that Dad is... But now, I think we're pretty similar. Dad wasn't born a strong person. The world that CERN created made him that way.
I'm not completely following you, but of course my daughter would be like me, SMH.
Which is why I'm going back to the past, even if you try to stop me.
Yeah?
So how about we avoid talking about this gloomy stuff for just today? Oh, that's a good CG!
Hey!
Aww! Yeah! Yeah! Rad. After our conversation, Dad doesn't bring up the time machine again. I doubt that's because he made peace with my choice, but that's not something he'll ever make peace with. But he tried his best to smile the whole time we were together. Occasionally his mask would slip, but he tried his hardest. Dad really is a kind person. Thank you so much for today, Dad. By the time our Akihabara tour comes to an end, the sunset illuminates the sky.
I got a lot of bonuses out of it, so I should be the one saying thanks.
Bonuses?
Yeah, like...
God! Nope, read the line. Or do you want me to skip past
Yeah,
it? That's
like how I found out your boobs are way bigger than I thought. Plus, I could feel them pressing against my elbow through your clothes.
all right.
Show a little restraint, you damn pervert.
You were supposed to say
What?
nothing personnel.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Neither of us had noticed Makise Kurisu's arrival.
She shoots Dad.
Up here, some glare.
And here I was, happy that the two of you made it back without incident. Already back to sexual harassment? My bad?
I don't think that'll pass in a court of law, but admittedly, I don't know about the laws of this time very well.
Amane-san, he didn't make you do anything other than link arms, did he?
No, I don't think there's anything you need to worry about, probably.
I'm not sure I like the way you worded that.
He was really gentle.
I'm really not sure I like the way you worded that.
Aye.
I assume you don't mean that in the pervy way.
Not in the pervy way. Pretty sure. Makise Kurisu continues to eye Dad suspiciously, even after I answer her questions.
Are you sure? Positive. All right, fine.
Makise Kurisu then turns to me. Yeah, what up? But she doesn't say anything. What is it?
It's nothing.
It sure seems like something. Looks to me like it's not nothing.
I was just wondering if you got to have your father dote on you like you wanted. But don't get the wrong idea. It's not that I was worried about you or the fact that you were with this perv.
So you were worried.
I absolutely was not.
I think I got what I wanted.
I see. That's good to hear.
Makise Kurisu, you are also a good person.
I'm pretty sure I told you yesterday not to say stuff like that.
I'm honestly so glad that I finally realized it for myself. Even if I am a little late. If I hadn't been forcing my image of her future self over her present self, I probably would have come to that realization much sooner.
I'm just relieved that our little misunderstanding's been cleared up.
She shoots me a smile.
You're leaving tonight, right?
I'm surprised by her question. How did you know?
I knew it. I am right.
It was a bluff? Can't say I expected you to use a tactic like that.
I figured that since you're the type to just vanish into thin air without saying a word, I didn't have time to wait around assembling evidence before reaching a conclusion.
I guess you're right.
That time machine can only go back to the past, huh?
I look at Dad in response to her question. But he silently denies it.
This is just a hypothesis, of course. If you could immediately come back after leaving, you wouldn't have gone on a date with Hashida.
Were you thinking about us all day?
Of course not. I only needed a few seconds to come up with a simple...
You were thinking about us the whole time, weren't you?
Well, I guess you could say that.
And you were watching over us, too.
I wasn't, but if you two were even a little late, I was thinking of sending you another email. Since you're father and daughter, it'd be a big problem if the two of you did, well, you know, just common sense.
Thank you, Makise Kurisu. I realized that if I didn't come to this era, I would have never said those words in my entire life. To think that I feel gratitude towards her of all people. If my friends in the Resistance saw me now, they'd probably pass out. I can see it now.
You're welcome.
I'm truly glad that I was able to see you again at the end.
At the end? You aren't going to see Okabe and the others?
No, if I did, it just caused me to have second thoughts.
Then I guess you've made your decision then. I'll explain things to Okabe and the rest of the crew.
I doubt that'll be necessary.
Why?
I'm just heading back to the past. Once I'm gone, the me in this era will probably show up right away.
That's some overly wishful thinking right there. But I don't dislike it.
This is just bye for now, Makise Kurisu. She called it overly wishful thinking, but I know full well that it's all a lie. The me who went to the past is already dead. Even if we were able to see each other again, it'd be in the very limited time of this world line. Should my mission succeed, everything from past to future would be reconstructed on a different world line. But maybe that'd be for the best. Even if it's just for a brief time. Even if our memories would vanish during the reconstruction. The truth remains that we were able to meet.
See you soon, Amane-san.
After hearing her words, I turned toward my dad. I'm sure Makise Kurisu does as well. This is just bye for now, Dad. Feel my chest tighten.
Yeah.
Dad probably realizes that this world line needs to disappear.
Suzuha, can I say one last thing?
What is it? I'm prepared for the worst. Heck, I saw Dad hold himself back from saying something all day today. But instead...
You were adorable today, but... Your dad prefers the usual Suzuha.
His words are completely different from what I had expected. I was ready to hear something tremendously sad, but instead I'm filled with happiness. I guess all that worrying was for nothing, huh? He prefers the usual me. And just like that, Dad had erased all of my hesitation. My clothes weren't the only thing I never had to worry about. I can only live the way I know how. And I'm sure that's because I'm my dad's daughter. Oh, we got mail.
Where are you? Where are you right now? Tell me when you plan to leave this time period.
Goodbye. Oof. Well, at least I still got my Luca phone. Beta's running the final checks. I'm the one who broke the time machine, but Beta and Dad fixed it. I told her I wouldn't hold her responsible if she couldn't do it, but Beta showed me her determination to fulfill her promise. Just like a true soldier. Honest and straightforward about the mission. Not too long ago, I probably would have longed to be just like her. Did I go too far with the clothes, or what? Meanwhile, the other me is worried about something completely unrelated. No way, you were a huge help. But Dad said he prefers the usual Suzuha. Are you kidding me? If I was my usual self, I'd been way too embarrassed to link arms with him. There are some things you can only do because you feel like a different person. You think so? Besides, I wanted him to call me cute at least once. I'm really grateful for all your help. There's no way I could have picked out such a cute outfit. I wouldn't have even thought to try to find one in the first place. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Omega happily accepts my explanation, and Beta approaches the two of us. I don't think this is a coincidence. She must have been watching our conversation. The final checks are complete, Alpha. Great. Thank you for everything that you've done. It's no problem. I just did what I could. Beta then stares at me. What is it? Might I make a suggestion? Sure, be my guest. I wonder what she's going to say after all our time together. Can I use the time machine instead? Wait, what? I've been thinking. This is a one-way trip. I should be the one to go. Dad would be a mess without you here, Alpha. The Amane Suzuha just as much as you are. I'm Amane Suzuha just as much as you are. Our world lines might be different, but I have no intention of making my dad sad. Compared to Omega, Beta never really expressed herself much. Maybe that's why it feels like I'm hearing her own words for the first time. I might be like a ghost in this world line, but I was still able to perform repairs. I should be able to get my hands on the IBM 5100 if I go back to the past.
I've been thinking about that the entire episode. I'm thinking about what a horrifying threat an invisible but still physical Suzuha would be.
The thing is, we know she can't do it.
Yep.
Because of Mr. Braun.
Thanks, Beta.
Bye. Be careful. I hope we can see each other again.
Thank you. Lucaphone. Thanks, Beta. Her offer genuinely makes me happy. She doesn't want to make Dad sad. She wants to help me stay here. But I'm going. I can't accept her offer. I already made up my mind. I suppose this was always the original plan. But why? Well, the first problem is that it's impossible. You and the other me are my ghosts. I think you're both possible versions of me created through my own hesitation. I don't think you'd be able to go back to the past and complete my mission. But there's always a chance that this is the only time machine Dad had left behind. The risk of sending you alone to the past is just too high. Besides, you have your own role to play in your world line. My own role to play. If I was alone, my journey would have ended now. But because both of you are here, I have the chance to right things. I can't have you shoulder any more of this burden than you already have. That's why I am going to the past. If you still insist on traveling back in time, then the most I can offer you is that we go together. And I'm fairly certain that you'll both disappear on the way there. You just go back to the world lines where you belong. As if to prove my point, Beta and Omega both flicker and disappear for a moment. They were like ghosts to begin with, but now their existences have grown even more unstable. To be completely honest, I've been having a hard time just hearing your voice for a while now. I think you're right, I'm being sent back to my world line. If you already figured that much out, then why did you make the offer? She's contradicting herself. She can feel herself being pulled back to her own world line, and yet she offered to go to the past on her own. Hey, Alpha. Did you ever put any thought into what you'd do if I couldn't fix the time machine? Nope. I answer her question, wondering why she asked one without answering mine first. If I wasn't able to repair the time machine, you would have had to remain at this era, regardless of your intent. You realize that, right? I can tell that you're worried about me. I finally understand what Beta is trying to say. It makes me realize that I'm the sort of person who only sees people at their surface level. I convinced myself that I knew who Makise Kursu, Dad, and the other versions of me were. What I'm trying to say is that I think you should stay here. I always saw you as the perfect soldier, but you really are Amane Suzuha too. I'm at peace with myself. I can be a foundation for the future, and that's enough for me. I have no hesitation and no regrets. Then I want you to understand that I'm at peace with this too. Unlike you, I took a detour. I hesitated. I had regrets, but I'm at peace with things now, and that's the truth. To show her how serious I am, I look Beta right in the eyes. Beta's figure flickers and disappears again before returning. I finally understand now how Dad felt when he entrusted the time machine to me. Building an incomplete time machine while hiding himself away from CERN. Dad knew. He knew that I'd take a detour. He knew that I'd hesitate, but he still believed in me. He still built that time machine. So I want you to understand. I am not going reluctantly. I'm not going because it's the only way. I'm not going because I don't want my friends' deaths to be in vain or to atone for my sins. I'm not going to make Dad sad. You're going for yourself, aren't you? Beta's figure sways and flickers more violently. Exactly. I don't really get what's going on. What am I supposed to do? I didn't realize it until now, but Omega is crying. She seems to be getting emotional because she doesn't understand what Beta and I are talking about. I don't have a mission or anything. I go home, I wake up in the morning, and go to school. Upon seeing Omega crying, I realize that this girl really is Amane Suzuha, too. An Amane Suzuha born into a peaceful world, living a peaceful life. We're working hard so that one day we can become you. What's that supposed to mean? I don't get any of this. Beyond my mission, a world line free of CERN's control awaits. But that world line isn't necessarily a peaceful one. Seeing how Beta is a soldier, I can tell. Even if the world line changes, other reasons could deny peace to the world. It's entirely possible that my mission will have had no meaning. But the existence of Omega shows that there is a hope for a peaceful world line somewhere out there. That's right, she is hope itself. Just be happy. Live life to the fullest. Which is why that's all I can ask of her. Amane Suzuha, born into a peaceful world, living a peaceful life. As long as she's happy, the efforts of other Amane Suzuhas will have been worth it. You don't have to tell me to be happy. I'm only sad because you're saying all this weird stuff. But her feelings can't reach her right now. No, I doubt they ever will. She'll never know the struggles that the other Amane Suzuhas went through. But that's okay. She showed me the end goal, what all of us want the most. Then just forget everything we said. Are you sure? If it keeps you happy, go for it. I'm going to the past for myself. There's no need to drag her into it. Okay. Her figure violently sways and flickers and then vanishes for about 2 seconds. I'm only just realizing it, but her existence has also grown unstable. Looks like she stopped crying. There are still tears rolling down her cheeks, but I don't think there will be fresh ones anytime soon. Oh, but can I say one more thing? As long as it's just one. Don't give Mom and Dad too much trouble, all right? You don't have to tell me that. That's all I ask for, and that's all I want. There was no reply. She's gone, along with Beta, who should have been right beside me. Thank you for help repairing this for me, Beta. I know I won't get an answer, but I continue anyway. You better get along with Mom and Dad, Omega. Thinking that might still reach them. There's no usual, I'm not Omega, I'm Suzuha, objection from Omega this time. Adios. We only got to be together for a brief period of time, but I'm glad I got to meet the both of you.
It's got a split keyboard.
It does.
How ergonomic.
I forget if that's the same way it looks in the end of Steins Gate. There's so few times you see the interior of the thing that I completely forget, but I climb into the time machine by myself and boot up the system. The sounds of it roaring to life strike me as terribly nostalgic. Feels like it's been ages since I came to this era. I'm sure everything will work perfectly. All the sounds line up with what's in my memories. They might just be sounds, but they're reassuring to me now. Wonder if Dad was super fixated on this stuff too. I didn't give it much thought when I first used the time machine, but I remember it all perfectly. These reassuring sounds. Time to get going.
Time to get going.
Got him. I stretch my body out and sit in the chair. My seatbelt fastened, I take a deep breath.
Seat back in the full upright position. Tray table up.
I take a look at the control plan and confirm the target time. 1975, the year I first aimed for. There it is. It's time to resume my journey to the past, from which there will be no return. A journey filled with unknowns, one where I could very well fail and die, but I'm not afraid anymore. FG 204 second edition version. What number was it again? Whatever, take off! Shit, did I remember the bike?
Suzuha, it's time to get up.
Wait, was that Yuki?
I don't remember. Probably.
I hear Mom's voice. The usual voice saying the usual thing. Someone approaches me, planning to drag me out from under the covers. Okay. I reply in order to stop them, pretending to be awake. Just pretending. Up until now, I'd usually stay in bed a few extra minutes, but Don't give Mom and Dad too much trouble, okay? But not today. I managed to drag myself out of bed before Mom comes to get me up. I make my way over to the living room.
Oh, what's this? You're actually awake for once.
Thanks to that, Mom is surprised. I get that I have no right to talk since I'm usually so bad about this, but her surprise is still irritating. What, should I have stayed in bed?
Nope, it'd be super helpful if you could make this a regular thing.
But Mom's in a great mood. Is she that happy that I got myself up? I see. Yeah. As always, I sit at the table where breakfast is laid out. Just like it always is. And my breakfast is ready just like it always is. Hey, Mom? But I think this is the first time I've ever said this. Would it be okay if I took care of the dishes? Mom is once again shocked by my words, only this time I feel a little proud for some reason. How weird. Aww.
Suzuha getting to be a normal ass kid is the that is the end goal of Steins Gate, isn't it? Yay! I like that one.
Yeah.
I even liked how the conceit was strange, but they didn't spend too much time dwelling on why it happened.
Yeah.
They just kind of it's kind of like this thing CRTs used to do.
You know.
Yeah, and then just moved on with it. And that's great. That's rad. I love that one. I really like that one a lot.
Oh shit, we've unlocked the whole next layer.
Yeah. So next we're gonna go through them roughly in order. So next time it'll be Mr. Braun, then Ferris. But after that we've got
Luca
route called Hermaphroditus in the Labyrinth.
Uh-oh.
Oh god. All right, buckled in. Mayuri route, Eternal Polaris. Oh, that one sounds like it's gonna be sad. And Moeka route, the Quantum Awakening. Is that everyone? There's Okabe, there's Daru, there's Kurusu, there's Suzuha, Mr. Braun, Ferris, Nyan, Luca, Mayuri, Moeka. Does Nai have a route? Because Nai is also in the there's promo artwork for the game.
Yeah.
And has the entire lab mem cast, right?
Mhm.
Plus Mr. Braun, plus Nai.
Interesting.
And given that Nai is the one that shows up later on in the series, I assume that the final route might be hers.
That'd be interesting if true.
Yeah, either that or fucking Shido gets a route. I don't know. Who else even has a fucking portrait in this game?
Luca's dad?
Luca's dad has a portrait, yeah. Or maybe spoiler characters from Steins Gate Zero have. Anyway, join us next time for Mr. Braun route. Yeah, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be great. Built with love. Look at that number. That's a really big number. Bye, everyone.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.